Hello guys, Cool Yoshi here, and welcome back to my playthrough, 100% playthrough that is, of Crash Team Racing Nitro Field. In the last episode, we did every single one of these cups here, and before I go on, I want to say something. I did these two cups on hard, and this one took me 3 hours of tries to get through. In case you didn't know, the hard mode is very imbalanced in this game, so I made a good choice not doing that on video, because that would have not been fun. It would have to be bad and be crazy. It took me, like 3 hours worth of tries to do this one cup, so we're obviously not doing that anymore, so yeah, we're going to focus on the other modes for now. Battle mode, I believe, doesn't count because it doesn't give us anything. We'll still probably do it later, but we'll move on to the next logical thing, which is time trial. So time trial is basically a mode where you pick one track and you try and beat a specific time trial. First, you have to beat it once, and then you have to face off against Entropy, beat him, and do that. And you have to beat both Entropy's time trials and Oxide's time trials to beat all of that. And guess what? It's back in this game too, so you have to do that as well. And it does include the bonus tracks. So, to save a little bit of time, we're gonna use this time to find the Beanox crates as well, since those are also kind of required for 100%. Keep in mind, I already broke a lot of them, so I'll at least attempt to show you where they are. Okay, so the first one is in Crash Cove, hidden in the it's great area. Oh, and one other thing to show you, I finally got Spyro unlocked along with his spacesuit. We're not going to be playing as him for the run, but I wanted to lock him just so I could play as him, but play as him later. But for this playthrough, it is just gonna be Dingodile, since you can still do that. So, anyways, let's actually begin. The only thing obnoxious about this is having to do it 3 times, but this is much easy compared to anything else, because you don't get any boosts, the enemies don't attack you, and of course there's no CPUs to bother you. You just have to go as fast as you possibly can. Of course, that said, it'll be annoyed in some areas, because you may want to take each shortcut at least 3 times in order to do that. So, yeah. So the first one starts with So anyways, first we need to get up to this upward spot, which we did, and go to around this corner, and here's the Beanox crate. Very easy enough, and since we're playing on a fast mode, we could just turn right back on there and get right back there. So that's where the Beanox crate is. Jump up there, head into the checkpoint, but you pretty much have to head into the mast of the ship. By the way, I recommend doing all of the Beanox crates on the time trials, which is what I'm going to be doing from now on, unless you have enough time for it, because it's much easier to do that. As for how we're going to go through the course, it's pretty straightforward. There's only one shortcut to take in this lower left section. The only other way we can save time is by cutting these corners as much as possible, so we're going to do that. Obviously, playing the game quite a bit, we've learned a lot more on how to do this, so expect to see this zig strategy a lot more than we did last time. I especially know how to do the perfect drift boost in particular a lot better. Now the first time trial is always super easy, and then after that, is when it starts getting crazy. After you complete a time trial, Trophy will show up and do his sort of action, and then you'll have to face him.
Mate, you call that racing?
Now in the original game you would retry, and then suddenly you'd see a ghost here. Yep, see, there he is. Okay, well, actually, maybe not. I forget what it is. It's really confusing, but anyways, after you race him once, he opens up, and then you have to beat him. In the original, he would actually talk, too, whenever... You would actually have a voice line for whenever you unlock one of his time trials originally. So now we have to challenge him and his fast time. Keep in mind, I turned was slow to begin with because of the... Not mean so, but now we have Trophy to beat here. I think they upped the ante on some of these tracks too. I believe some of them are a little bit quicker, but then again, that could be said since I had to waste quite a bit of time getting the beat Oxide. So yeah, now that we don't have to race against the individual player, it's all about just going as fast as we can. In case you're wondering, you want to keep this the entire way through because it makes the ghosts a lot easier. And there we go, we beat him. So we want to go to change level after each one, just to select it again, so it actually takes a little bit longer, but... So you beat his time on the first track, you get a star, and then something else happens, and then after that's done, Nitrous Oxide will unlock, and then you have to challenge him for the big one. Nitrous Oxide, of course, is normally the tougher one to beat that takes a little bit longer and requires a lot of ranks. How you save time is kind of unknown, but it's mostly like the other Ghost, except you have to be a lot quicker. So it essentially copies the time trial aspect that was later copied by its other predecessor game, Mario Kart Wii, which was the first to introduce Ghost time trials, where there's actually to race against. However, instead of staff ghosts to race against, it's just straight up the character instead. And Nitrous Oxide plays really well, so we have to respond by keeping our boost for most of the time and pretty much cutting corners wherever we can. With Nitrous Oxide, if we make a mistake by missing a boost, it could be really hard to recover. From the looks of it, we got a 1 second raid early on, but then got vets later on. Oh, there he is. Oh, we did beat him. Okay, that was a little close. Nitrous Oxide's always really a tough buy. In some courses in the original game, you could just do cheat shortcuts that would be really easy. Oh, so you can apparently defeat Emperor Velo on the tracks as well, but for this game, I'm probably not going to do that. We're gonna challenge just the other two. That's it. Emperor Velo's like the big boy and requires like a luck, but we could beat. So for this run, we'll probably defeat Nitrous Oxide at every track, and then try off screen to defeat Emperor Velo on each track because that's a little bit much. Next, we have Mystery Caves. This is one that I already found the ghost for, so, Eox Great for, so I'll just show you where it is, and then go into the thing. All you have to do is time travel each of the individual ones to unlock the individual ghost at first. This is one where I may start sucking, because I still don't know how to do the boost trick off of there without losing a little bit of time. Dragon Mines is also going to be a really obnoxious one, so I may skip Oxide's ghost on certain shots. Right there, if you take that spot when you go into the Mystery Cave spot, that's where the Beanox Gate was hidden. We got that in Adventure mode, of course, in one of our later hypers. If you want to see that, check back a video and you may see it. So this is just like the other one, but only we need to try and catch the cycles on the right edge as much as we can. And we do want to actually get these jumps, since the jump will skip otherwise really dangerous hazard, and the other ones are kind of random. Okay, so we're gonna practice this right now, obviously, because that's the hard part right there. Because we have to go left on each one of these to save the most time. You want to get a jump boost there, because that'll allow you to ideally keep your speed for that. It does still save time than going over the long way, as most people think. Oh, and in case it hasn't already cleared, we have to avoid the obstacles on each of the laps after the second one. The first time you do any of these, it's always just a free pass. Kind of like easy mode just to get things going, and then once Dr. Trophy opens up, things start getting a little bit tricky. Alright. Kind of annoying that we couldn't just retry and it automatically puts the ghost on. In the original, it would be a lot more gentler. Now, when this system was first introduced, trophy times and Oxide times were actually pretty straightforward to beat once you knew how to play the game well. not really that difficult. It was mainly the big problem was trying to just get through other stuff. Like, the original has a lot of stuff, so obviously they buffed a lot of the times, and they also added Emperor reveal times as well. We're not going to be going for any of those, because reveals were probably way too challenging, so to stick to the original standards, I'm beating the trophy times and reveal times. I don't think you actually get anything from beating Emperor reveal anyways. And we do want to beat at least all of End Trophy's times, because we unlock him as a character if we do that. And we unlock Oxide's card set along with a couple of other stuff if we beat all of Oxide's time trials. So staying true to the original, we're going to do that. So obviously, after the first one of messing around, we just do the legit time trials. That's probably going to be the trickiest turn there to get really good. Going for that optimally is kind of tricky. I believe I saw a couple of speedrunners do that optimally. You have to, like, keep a boost there and, like, jump multiple times to get it to stay. Keep in mind, we have to cut corners big time. At least this is not as big of a time loss as it is from the cups. Because I tried doing the cups on hard earlier today, or I guess yesterday was what happened, and I couldn't even get past some of the first courses for a while. Like I said, it took me at least 3 tries to beat them. It was really difficult. More or less the strategy of this is just boost everywhere. You don't have to worry about items, just evade the obstacles, cut corners as much as you can, and only go off the path if you need to avoid an obstacle. Other than that, there's nothing much different. Nice.
Mate, you call that racing?
We destroyed him. We didn't do the shortcut perfectly, but we were still able to destroy him. Some of the end trophy times are pretty easy. The ones on the easier courses are probably going to be more difficult, but with all the tricks I know, it's not that hard. And even if you suck to Oxide, you can still learn some of the tricks by doing that. Now, I think I've been going off the wrong turtle all this time. I keep on going to the leftwards one. Whereas the run actually goes to the far right, so I'm gonna try that, because Oxide does have a less quicker time than me, so we need to be ready for this. And yes, I will try and beat all of Oxide's times, regardless of what the setup is. Yeah, right there, that's what you want to get. For the purposes of practicing, we're not going to quit out after one direct mistake, because it is doing that. And that's the turtle trick I talked about, by the way. It's only barely faster. Okay, now I have to restart. We have to avoid all obstacles. The cycle was thrown off because of that. Alright. It's fine. Yeah, you want to get a high bounce off this turtle at the beginning, because then you can jump over part of that and not get slowed down. What you saw there was how it's supposed to work. However, it's not the best, as you can see. The turtle hitboxes in this game in particular are janky as heck. Okay. If you do it perfectly, it's only barely faster than the way Oxide goes. Other than that, though, there's not much to say. Okay, this is just terrible. I did the first 2 runs perfectly, and now I'm just bumping into everything for no weird reason whatsoever. Am I even playing the game, please? Fine, I'm just gonna go this way instead. Even if you're super bad, through Oxide, you will almost always learn the way to go. Because if you're really bad, you can always just follow Oxide for the first part, and he'll mostly tell you the right way to go, which is really good. He does have a couple of mistakes that he makes occasionally. Oh, see, we got ahead of him now. Most of it is just gonna be cutting corners more and doing a certain strategy more. Yeah, the rift is definitely better because it cuts the corner a little bit more. Whoa. Whenever that big boost comes out, I always get worried. It's like, whoa. That came out of nowhere. Come on. Remember, Oxide's a fast boy, so he can catch up really quickly if we do bad. Okay, so the Emperor Vewel time trial might actually be possible on this, seeing as how I destroyed Oxide completely in this. But I'll see about maybe doing that in a separate episode, actually. We'll see. It depends. I'll let you guys should let me know if I should do the Emperor Vewel time trials or not, but for now we'll just stick with the easier ones. So I defeated... Or at least in the original game, there were just normal time trials. So, yeah, the golden one is obviously the Emperor Vewel time trials. We'll stick with the originals, though, just to make it quicker, because I'm not sure if Emperor Vewel actually gives it a lockable. We'll maybe look at it later. Actually, let's go to the cards right now and see. That's nitrous oxide. When I mean 100% for this, I mean like in terms of unlockables, but I may still do that off screen just to say that I did it. Nitrous oxide. And this you get for all the cups. This is on hard difficulty, by the way. That's unlockable we need, so we have to do that. That's, of course, going to be done off screen, because screw that. That's way too hard. It takes forever to like for the stickers. As for characters, this is the only one you get for getting all the chili times. At least you get to play as him. Okay. With that finally done, let's go on to the next track. For the first half, it'll just be defeating End Trophy and then Oxide. That's it. Okay, so Sewer Speedway does have one trick, so we're going to have to do that. Also, this is going to be probably the hardest of the ones to do, because obviously we have to go for the big boy shortcut, so we have to do that trick 3 times in a race in order to get a good run. Any miss is an instant reset. So this is probably going to be one of the harder ones. Blizzard buff also for the same reason. A big Blizzard buff in my solo run. That was not a fun course to go through. Okay, so we're going here first because there's a shortcut trick you want to do. To make it easier, we'll run at this wall to lose speed and then turn around, and here's our Beanox crate located in the side of the area. When you break it, you will get that's another spot. Oh yeah, and let's not forget, once I go against Oxide, I also have to avoid all of those barrels. If you remember the last time I did this, Jack, we had troubles avoiding all of the barrels. The barrels were some of the worst things to avoid in the entire game, and I don't like it for that reason. And in case you're wondering, you have to do this to do that, and then this is what the trick looks like. Unfortunately, this shortcut has a side effect of leaving you so close to the stupid thing that it's pretty much random whether or not you get hit, so we could take a few hits, but yeah, I swear they really need to make the barrel size less. That's way too much barrel size there, and we lost like 6 seconds there just to all that because of all that dumb stuff. When you have a boost, this shortcut's not too hard to make. Obviously, you don't want that thing to be in the middle when you go down. But it's not easy to evade, as you can see. I should hopefully get at least one of those perfect runs, but I'll need to figure out where those cycles are on based off of the timer.
Mate, you call that racing?
Okay, trophies opened up again. Nice. Okay. Well, that's really good so far. I think we're doing really well. Keep in mind, the bonus tracks are included. C&K and bonus are included, which will be completely new ones, so those could be really challenging. It depends on what I put on. You can see because we lost so much time, we actually didn't beat Trophy there. Most of the time, it's when I have to get the Beanox crates that really hurts that. The Beanox crates, as far as I know, I'm going to add them to my 100% goals, so I may as well break all of them while I can. Get those out of the way. They're easier to break in the time trials, so... Alright, now we actually go the legit run. The worst part about it is I go into that turn drifting, so I don't really have a good choice of what to do. Whoa. Jeez. Because it's Trophy, we could potentially go and do other stuff, because as you can see, Trophy's actually kind of bad. It takes the long way around. I just learned that. So most of my time was lost to the barrels in that part before that. Still though, how are you supposed to expect it? In case you're wondering, the barrels are probably the worst part of this entire track. Because you go through trying to do this shortcut and doing this to take the most optimal line, but you just get hit by the barrel and it's not fun. From the looks of it, we get a favorable cycle here. See, yeah, they're not in the way. Oh, come on, that's the worst. We're already destroyed End Trophy so much. Game, you don't have to make that harder for me. Yeah. Yeah, that was a really dumb fail, by the way. Ah. And just like that, there it is. I'm restarting off of that. Of course. When I try and go for it, it leads to a big fail. There we go. Okay. You want it to be up on one of the sides, obviously. Because if it's not, then you just get destroyed. Once you get good at the shortcut, it's actually one of the easier shortcuts to do in the game. Hey, my strat actually paid off this time. Okay, so going that with the drift boost will seems to help me get through that a little bit faster. It's me stopping that too early that made me run into that thing the last time, so doing that should help out a little bit. Nice. Whoop. Don't know what that entrance was. Whoa, okay, that was a very quick reaction there. Okay, I think we destroyed him there. He had a 213 and we just got a 156. That just shows you how OP the shortcut is. So now we'll use this to find out how much our leeway is against Oxide. Oxide, we may wait a little bit before we do that, but other than that, this could be one of the trickier ones. In fact, it will be. He always seems to be just a tiny bit faster than me. I don't know what it is. So I think I have a fast dive. It's like, oh, have this. Here, have this. And now all of a sudden there's this time. I honestly don't know what it does. But yeah, as you can see, we have to get the shortcut 3 times, otherwise we just reset. I do this strategy just because it's the easiest to do. Thank goodness I did the left edge there. Oh. Yeah, that drift is working really nice for me. Bah! I had to waste a lot of time there, but at least I dodged the barrel. That would have wasted a ton of time if I had hit that. And it also gives me a favorable barrel cycle. Let's go. Okay. Thank goodness we got Oxide on the first try there. I think most of my improvements just came from faster turning, and I think there was a fail, and one of the 2 shortcuts that I took, I saved that time back there, so yeah, that's really good. Wow, this is actually going really well so far. We've only had to reset a couple of times, and it's mostly just due to bad luck, and in Mystery Graves, we literally just adapted to go into a faster route, and then we got it there. Oh, right. Okay, so Ruse Tubes is the next one. This has one of the more trickier ones that's definitely hidden in something you're not supposed to find in a normal race. It's one that's actually very well hidden, and we'll also use this time to practice the tricks. Ruse Tubes is normally one of the easiest tracks to do because there's a very consistent strategy I learned with a drift that will guarantee that I go through the trick cut on the left without having to deal with the error stuff. You don't get the WUMPA boost from the WUMPA crates in time trials, so yeah. Okay, so for this trick, we're gonna go down this first lift hill, past where the normal question marks are, turn around and head to this right, go in the wrong way for just a split second, and there, we broke it. It's not actually that bad. I checked that to make sure I got it, just because it could be very easy to forget. Again, we don't have to worry too much about my time trial, so my first time trial is probably going to be off by quite a little bit because of that. Like I said, the legit attempt will be later. So, that's the strategy, basically. If you have a full boost, all you have to do is do a quick hop over that, and that's it. Most of this is just corner cuts. You can get some decent boost, though, from hopping in the right spots. Ah, come on. Okay, I didn't get it there. That could be bad. Yep. If you don't drift there, you can lose your fire, and once you lose your fire there, if you lose your fire there, you basically are sued. You waste a few seconds. It's still faster than taking the long route by a mile. Also, if you don't get the boost there either, that also makes a big difference. Again, the initial time trials on the leaderboards are pretty easy initially. But for now, it's not very good. Yeah. It is what it is, though. I swear, when I did the Mario Kart time trials, I had much harder time doing those. That was just like the first time trials than just going through and defeating all of these, because the Mario Kart time trials are actually well optimized, particularly the ones I did, the Mario Kart 8 ones. But these are really well optimized. Again, most of my time loss here was from the Beanox crate. If we didn't have to get it, we would just destroy the times really easily, but it's a thing they added in, so may as well make the most of it. And all of these are listed in tracked order, by the way, so it's not hard to remember. Okay, so this should be probably one of the easiest time trials to get. The shortcut saves so much time, it's actually insane, and it's also, again, Ruse Tubes, one of the easiest levels to keep your fire in. So if you're trying to do the fire trick, you know, where you get fire from one of the spots and basically keep your boost for a predetermined amount of time, then definitely choose this track as one of your first ones you optimize, because it is really busted and getting the time trials very well optimized. And you can get more of it too by hopping down big slopes, because that can also add to your boost big time. So yeah, just a double hop and a drifter on the side, and you hardly slow down at all, and it just saves so much time. I first discovered that when someone was doing a speedrun of the original game, and pulled that off, and it was absolutely sick. It saves so much time in Ruse Tubes. That's the only shortcut you're gonna do too, because every other shortcut in here is bad. It's so convenient that it just happens to be on this. Oh, and then the third one, you want to cut it quite a bit so you get a faster lap time at the end. Whereas the other one, you just want to take a consistent amount there through that. That was a 120, by the way. That was really sick. Oxide will probably still take the shortcut, but he's probably going to get slowed down. That's where we'll get the advantage, because like I said, we cut the corner so big, it'll be not too bad. In fact, we actually already are ahead of him by 3 whole seconds, so yeah. Of course, that might change with the Emperor Reveal time trials. The Emperor Reveal time trials I'm not going to be ready for, but from the looks of it, they aren't required for the intended 100%, which is being all of them and getting the other stuff. But I probably will still do them just to save 100% of the game. And so far, there's a lot of stuff to do. And by the way, my initial 100% will not include the counts from all the stuff, or what is it? It's not going to include the pit shop initially, because that's just a thing that you can buy stuff from. It's also kind of dumb that you have to buy a lot of other stuff if you want the true 100%, so obviously we're not going to do that. Okay, we actually needed a second off there, but it was alright. Just as I thought, Nitrous Oxide does take that, so he's not as easy to beat. Again, though, if we can keep our fire, we can survive very well. Well, except when that happens. That could cost me later. Oh, that could also cost me later. It's funny, I'm normally supposed to drift there, but it's alright. That was slower and I still beat him. I had 3 seconds of leeway there. That was not my best run, but oh well, one good run is all we need. And just like that, the first cup is completely done. We'll start the next loading screen while we go to the next one. Slide Coliseum. Okay, so this Beanox crate is hidden via the tires after only the second turn. It's another one of the tricky ones that you wouldn't see in a regular race because it's normally hidden really well. And this is also another one of the easier time trials. I figured out which map spot it is on, so we'll do that first. So, right here is where it is. We're gonna make it a little bit quicker this time. Alright. In case you're wondering, we want to turn around these as much as possible. Even cutting the grass on some occasion will be slightly faster than going for the regular pavement. This turn in particular, it saves a lot of time on to do that, because if you don't do that, you'll take a very low optimine for it. So yeah, Slide Coliseum definitely getting its name for the amount of sliding we're doing right now. Again, another really cool place to practice your power slides. Whoop. Get out of that. It's one of the trickier tracks though, like, even though it's basic, it's actually a lot more tougher than you first seems. Because since you can't really do much else, your goal is to simply save time by cutting through the grass as much as you can. I do like that they made hops give you ability to just turn a lot quicker, because it makes a lot of these just a lot quicker. Otherwise, it would take a long time. Finishing with the 39 there. I am probably behind on trophy because of the Beanox crate, but hey, it is just because of the Beanox crate. The Turtle Jack act might be a little bit trickier. It's kind of interesting that Turtle Track of all things disappear. Oh, I still beat him by quite a bit, actually. You must really suck at doing this, Anchovy. But of course, they have to make it kind of easy on purpose, especially if an Emperor V will time trial on the distance. That essentially requires you to optimize the course as best as you can. And it's not just doing the other stuff. You can still watch him. So again, if you have problems with to beat some of the time trial ghosts, the first thing I recommend is try to first beat End Trophy and then just watch Oxide drive around the track. Because if you watch him drive around the track, it'll be a lot easier to figure out where he goes. Where am I gonna get my time from this? Also, I'm doing kind of terrible here. I'm not sliding as much as I should be sliding, I think. Yeah, that big cut is probably the best right there. Of course. Okay, I'm gonna consider that a fail. Getting stuck at there would pretty much cost me the race, so I have to try that again and hope not to have that happen. Yeah, that seems kind of pathetic when the way you go out is by failing that turn of all things. So terrible. We'll do a double jump here. It's probably quicker than going the long way. I know jumping off some of the tires can be slow initially, but if it cuts the corner, it definitely helps a lot. I mean, you probably can't see this, but if you look close to the right, you can see some of the characters actually do their happy animations or dancing animations whenever they win a trophy. That plays throughout the entire race, and it also includes some of the hidden unlockable girl characters as well. Or as some people call them, the trophy girls, which of course are now playable characters in this game, which I think is probably the coolest thing they added with this. Yeah, cutting a corner like that seems to be the best. Keep in mind, I failed this because I got stuck on one of the easiest parts of the chat that most people would probably not fail on, and yeah, I got stuck there. That just sounds pathetic. And like I said, they included some of the secret characters as well, because when the patch initially came out, they had a lot of characters added in, and then they kind of just added characters before. It's not just Dingodile and the original 8 or 12 it was originally anymore. That was a bad turn there. Oh well. I'm so far ahead it doesn't matter. So yeah, just like I thought, most of this is just optimizing the track to go as fast as possible. We'll definitely beat all event trophies, time trials and Oxides, but Oxides could take a while depending on Chick. Especially the new ones for Oxide could be really hard. I think they added Emperor Veal Childs just to make fates a little bit easier. Again, I have a 3-second leeway on Oxide, but is it gonna really matter? In case you're wondering, Emperor Veal is a new ghost that I completely didn't know about, and that's what the first star, I guess, is all about. Since it's not really required for Under Ascent, I'm not gonna make it my primary focus. My main focus is whatever unlocks stuff in the game is considered 100%, which means I do still technically have to do all the cups on hard. Of course, I'm doing that off camera, because screw that. Oh wow, I think he took the shortcut as well. It was hard to see because it looked like he went really slow for that. Again, it's mostly just corner cuts everywhere. Yeah, drift in there seems to be the best bet there. Where is he even going? His dot is moving like crazy. It's hard to tell where he's going. Yeah, we have to do a lot of 1-2 drifts here, unfortunately. Also, I think jumping on some of the spots is kind of slow. Okay, I made that work, but I had to use a brake drift to adjust I turn there. Okay, I think he just straight up doesn't know that the tire is one of the fastest ways to go. Okay, we'll do a 1 there. That'll make this a lot quicker. Yeah, see, I think he goes on mostly the outside of the course, so I'm actually saving quite a bit of time by doing that corner cut, or whichever one I did on lap 1. That seems to be the quickest way of going around this.
Mate, you call that racing?
No 37 laps there, but oh well, we don't need it. That was one of the easiest Oxide ghosts to beat in the entire game right there, from the looks of it. And I can only imagine how our turtle tracks will be. Of course, the Emperor Velo ghost will definitely give you a much bigger challenge. Okay, turtle tracks is a little bit more trickier to find, and you may not find on your first try if you don't recognize it. Keep in mind, I only ever did this track once for the time trial thing, so I had hardly any time to look for it, because this mode is not playable in single race format. You can actually still do this in single race, and it wouldn't matter, since single race doesn't make a difference, so when I looked at the player that's actually doing this, he actually had CPUs with him, so he was actually doing it in single race mode instead, which I find kind of interesting, but hey, whatever works, works. So, in case you're wondering, it's straight after the triple hairpin section on the left, and this one is just gonna be all about boosting. So we're gonna just get as many of these as we can. The triple hairpin section is by far the most trickiest, because the way you go around this quirk is to do this like 3 times. Also, here's where it is. If you take that, it becomes a lot easier. Okay, I don't care about that. In case you're wondering, you have to come to a near halt on a lot of these straightaways in order to make things work. This may be a weird shot to optimize, seeing as there's so many zippers everywhere. I think optimal turns are probably still better. Ooh, that was a bad slowdown. You want to do this as you turn, because then you kind of skid to a halt and still go really quickly. Okay, so that cut's probably the best there. I didn't really have much time to practice Turbo Chap just because of the fact that you only play it once in the initial game and not even for single ace. It's kind of a weird track, to say the least. Kind of interesting that you don't face the CPUs in that. I would like it if they added this to one of the next cups that comes out, because it would be really fun to play. Of course, it could be really screwy then if you get hit by items, because then, you know, it'll go really bad. Okay. Remember, most of the time loss comes from going to the Beanox grade, but this one, I will say I probably didn't do very well initially. Yeah. That was actually a pretty fast load. So this is going to be probably a little bit different because there's boosts literally everywhere. So it'll look like I'm losing time for a while. You know what? I'm just going to do this. Frick it. Okay, good enough. There's a little skid mark as well that kind of tells you where to go. I like that. It tells you exactly where you should be going if you're going for the quick bound. Ah, keep on missing them. Keep in mind, since this has an early pink, keeping this pink is probably better than doing the other stuff. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna go on this side. It's faster than taking all those zippers over there. Go in the grass on purpose there. So this will be kind of like the initial ones, just that I'm going to be taking a slightly more different approach and going the quick way, because it's much quicker than going the long way. In case you're wondering, most of my time save is going to be from this spot right here. Because the CPUs, I believe, have terrible problems going around it, so they'll more than likely not do really well if they try and go through it like that. So yeah, that central part is definitely gonna be where I make up my time, because that break that you do to skid to a halt is actually really good for that part. In fact, if you try and slide around it with any character, I don't think any character, even freaking Polar, can go around it really good. Wait, did I just restart? Whoops. I need to pick Oxide's time trial to race against, otherwise the thing won't work. So that means I was racing against myself and Trophy, which is why I was far ahead. Whoops. Alright, Turbo Track. Nitrous Oxide. And we're again beating him by a few seconds, though this one may be a little bit more tougher, so hopefully I can get Nitrous Oxide down here. Most of my time save's gonna have to come from that hairpin, the triple hairpin. That's one of the worst spots to do. Doing that optimally is probably, like, really tough. Nice quick skip there. 1, 2, drift. Oh, he's not even going around there. Oh, now he's catching up. I think he's catching up just because he's Oxide. I think he goes faster than any other character in the game. Okay. Oh, he caught up really good in that one. But the optimal turns just keep on coming back to bite him. He keeps on trying to go for something else, but I keep on going for the fast turns. It seems to be paying off. Oh, I missed that. Every time you miss one, that loses a lot of time. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Dang it. Getting the zippers is not optimal, by the way. It just puts you in a bad spot. Okay, I did that a lot better this time. Get one drifters to help with that. Ah, nice. That really feels cool when you get the zippers around the trick and actually get the trick to work perfectly there. Oh, jeez. Oh, that was bad. Yeah, he's gonna gain a little bit on time on me there. That was a terrible final turn there. Oh, but my faster turns still beat him. That could have been maybe a 40 lap if I had played that perfectly, but oh well. It actually only cost about 1 second over my record. Maybe it isn't as good as I thought. Okay, well that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment, rate, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video, where we continue our time trial dominance. Bye!